Hello, I'm inside now, inside the Hydro Majestic. Get ready for your tour of the Hydro Majestic. So the building's quite long, and of course, you go through multiple areas where, the bars are either closed or they're opened up in different functions, and you move into different coloured rooms. It's just extremely opulent. And you could imagine what people coming up here from Sydney, those who are, I don't know, probably quite wealthy, would come up here and spend time here. Just look at that. And then look at the view. They would spend time here and recuperate, go on holiday. Certainly was a hotel with a history. And I can only imagine what if these walls could talk. Look how ornate this is. You've got the detail here in the wallpaper, these beautiful archways, and of course the roaring fires. Absolutely beautiful, huge mirror. So anyone who lives in Australia would know the Hydro Majestic. And anyone who's visiting, you should come and have high tea here. If nothing else, come and have high tea. Okay, so walking through this red room, we're continuing a theme. Oh, man. Now we're walking into some kind of fairly powerful feng shui. And then you look at the pictures on the wall. Could probably do with an update, but look, art is art, isn't it? And we get the Hydro Majestic plates. Isn't that absolutely stunning? That's their logo. How beautiful. Of course, another room where you can sit and chill, read a book. The curtains are lined with peacock feathers. They're bay windows. It's fairly quiet here today. It doesn't have the kinds of crowds that it would have done in the 1900s, I should say, not 19th century, the 1900s. But you could imagine what it would have been like. Of course, one of the reasons that people came here was, as I said, the spectacular blue mountains of New South Wales. And how's that for a view? Okay, let's move on. Oh, now we have a knight's theme. They're hunting dogs. Just look at these heaters alone. They're no longer operational. Well, actually, they are. There's quite a lot of warmth coming out of them. Now, people might have come up here for weeks at a time. And then, we climb up these stairs. I think from memory, there's a whole bunch of conference rooms off here, off these corridors. We'll get to them. Of course, the guest rooms are up there, up that beautiful staircase, or one of them. Another sitting room. You can hear the creaking of the floors here. More ornate, beautiful heaters. More beautiful views through these beautiful bay windows. And I think now, I mean, look at the ornateness of that. Now I think we come here to the sort of like a conference area. Yep, conference rooms. Again, that's a modern day usage of such a grand hotel. But you can imagine when it would have been in use for guests and guests only. We've just been to dinner, and we've just come back from dinner, and I said to Eric, okay, well, let's set up some paranormal type of tools and let's see if we get any action. And straight away, I've had the REM pod, what's known as the REM pod, go off. That is a particular piece of equipment that that when energy approaches, it will go off, as well as changes of temperature. So we have pretty, there you can hear that now. Now we have pretty consistent hot air in here going. We've got very nice heating. But you can hear that, and I'm just getting, quite a chill here, even though the room's very, very heated. So I'll turn the camera around and you can have a look yourself. But just before we get started, a couple of things. I have some cap balls, which are motion sensor balls set up. I have the REM pod, which you will see. In fact, I'll do a close-up shortly. We also have a mag light. Sometimes Spirit can turn those off. And we have me, the clairvoyant, and a few other odds and ends, as well as some tarot cards. Now, I went to pick up the tarot card pack, and straight away when I went to pick it up, I got the impression that I shouldn't pick it up. And I did it anyway, and then the REM pod went off. So let's just see what happens when I do that again. Okay, so no issues. Let me just spin you around. You can see the room. Okay, I've just put the REM pod over in the corner. Oh, you just saw the orb that came through into the camera. So did I. I put it over there because it was going off so loudly. I thought, gosh, what's going on? Is this the heat or what it is? But you just saw the orb come across the screen, and so I'd probably like to say that it was going off because of whatever was in here. Now, I do have some cat balls. I'd much rather, because the REM pod's quite noisy, I'd much rather the cat balls go off. And also the lights. I have a light on the heater there, and that can also be turned off. So there's a few things around the room that can, if someone wants to make their presence known, they can use to trigger that. Now, the Hydro Majestic was built in the early 1900s, and I've been looking online. Okay, thank you. Could you take your hand off that, please? It's very loud. I don't want to disturb anyone. Could you take your hand off that, please? Take your hand off that, please. Thank you very much. Okay. So I know you're probably saying, how can she be so calm? But I don't know. I don't feel threatened in any other way, and I'm pretty sure that skeptics could find any number of logical explanations for that. Okay, now I want to say that I have had a little look online to see if there was ghosts sighted at the Hydro Majestic, built in the early 1900s. Let's just have a look at one story. It was once the pinnacle of New South. I'm reading from Woman's Day, which is a magazine here in Australia, in 2017. Once the pinnacle of New South Wales Blue Mountains, with guests such as Dame Nellie Melba. Yes, I saw that orb too. She was a famous singer back in the day, and our first Prime Minister, Sir Edmund Barton, who in fact died there in the Hydro Majestic. Really? I didn't realise that. I'll look that up and see what else I can find on that. The Hydro Majestic had become a faded rose. It was actually done up between the time that this article was published and now. It was then the guests checked out and the ghosts checked in. Okay, so Woman's Day likes a good story. Thankfully, she has been restored to her former glory, but the haunted guests remain. Now, let's see if we can get... okay. One former guest, Bethany Burgess, said, "We were told not to knock on the door of room 402. Our room number's 112. As that was where the resident ghost was residing. Mind you, there's more than one ghost at the Hydro. My mother thought it would be fun to knock, and so she did. Hell rained down on us that night. The ghost came calling and pinned us to our beds." It wasn't until we could gasp out a prayer that it left us. I screamed and we checked out. I will never return to the haunted Hydro Majestic. Right, okay. We are nowhere near room 402, thank goodness. I don't like the sounds of that. There's definitely something in this room because I've seen a number of orbs and we've had that REM pod going off. Thank you. I might actually have to turn that off because it's very, very loud. Oh, there goes the orb coinciding. We get it. We get it. It's not the heat. I get it. I'm just going to turn this off. Thank you. Because I just don't want to disturb other guests. So just bear with me while I do turn it off. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of orbs in this room. I just saw another one. And another and another and another. My God, they're coming thick and fast. All right, I'm just going to do some clairvoyance and then we'll do a tarot reading because, quite frankly, you're seeing all this orb activity. I've had to turn off the REM pod. There's just so much activity in this room that it's I'm having trouble keeping up with it. And of course, that light there, if anybody would like to try and turn that off, but you can speak to me through the cat ball. I also have this here, and it measures EMF energy, and if you come close to it, it will actually go off as well. I thought it had been going off earlier on tonight, and I thought it might have been the electronics around it, but I've taken all those away and we'll see what happens. Okay, so let's do some clairvoyance. You can see the orbs, they're just going through the screen. You can touch the cat balls if you like, and light them up, or you could turn the light off there, and hopefully I will get to it. You can turn that light off there if you would like. All right, let's do some clairvoyance and see what we can pick up. Unfortunately, I had to turn the REM pod off because it was too active and it was noisy. All right, but thank you for touching it and letting us know that you're here. All right, let's tune in. Okay. All right. What is it? So I'm only wanting to speak to beings of light, to those that are in the light, standing in the light. I do not want to communicate with anyone else. Yeah, I'm just getting a fairly strong ringing in my ear. Okay, it's just getting louder and louder. All right, somebody definitely wants to talk to us, and I'll just call in my guardian angel, my spirit team, to come and help with this session. And let's see what I can pick up. Okay, I'm picking up an animal, a small dog. That's the first thing that I'm picking up. I don't know whether pets were allowed in this hotel or not, but that's what I'm seeing. A very small dog. Okay, we'll find out later if there were pets allowed here. Okay, I'm picking up an elderly woman who had a head injury. I'm seeing her sitting there, and she's got like some kind of cut on her head, some kind of injury to her head, to the side of her head. Okay. And I want to say that she may have played the piano, because I'm getting that image of her sitting at a piano. I don't know if she had the dog, if that's the person that had the dog. Is there anyone in this Hydro Majestic that's standing in the light or of the light that is here at this time and may want to communicate, because you're definitely in this room? Okay. All right, let's see what else I can find out. So I'll go back to this woman, this elderly woman. I'm assuming the dog belonged to her, with some kind of head injury. Did she take a fall? Was that? I'll have to look up the records. And I think she had issues with, like, I'm getting tunnel vision, that kind of energy. Let me just turn this around. Okay, so I will flip this around if I can, if I get anything lighting up. So I'm getting an elderly woman. Was she probably in the 1900s? She's dressed in a longer dress, like an elderly woman's dress. It seems like she took a fall. I'm just getting that there was this tunnel vision, like everything was narrowing down there. Okay, so I'm not sure if she died here, but I'll certainly look up the records. I think her name, I'm getting an E, Elsie, something like that, beginning with an E. Okay, there is somebody here. I know, I'm just looking up. There is somebody here that there's a huge chandelier in the entrance foyer, and he sits on that chandelier and watches. That is a male spirit. Because it could have even been a workman. Again, going back, yeah, so somebody who actually was sitting on top of a high seat and cleaning something. So it's almost like, now you'd think they'd be up on a ladder, but they're actually on a seat, some sort of seat. I see them sitting down. And this person, I think, might have worked here. And again, I can look that up and see if there are any deaths on site with workmen here. But it seems like they're sitting on something to access something up high. It's not a ladder. And I think this is the person that may be on the chandelier, and he just sits there above everybody and watches. Okay, what else? I don't want to necessarily go there, but let's put it this way. Whatever's here in this hotel, I'm getting human, but I'm also, well, let's not go there, but yeah, there could be other sort of energies that occupy this particular space. It's a very, very old hotel. Okay, so what else? Yeah. Okay, so somebody's pouring a drink. A bottomless drink is what I'm seeing. Something that just keeps going on, and almost like an addiction here. So I'm picking up multiple spirits. Okay, let's go back to the woman. She seems quite safe. Let's leave the addictive man and the guy that swings from the chandeliers alone. Let's go back to the elderly woman. Okay, what happened to you here? I think she took several falls. And I'm just seeing, I don't know, I'm just seeing, I don't know if there's huge mirrors in this place, and I'm not sure whether there is, what's going on with those, but there could even be, on this land, there could even be some kind of energy, I don't know whether it's vortex, portal, I'm not quite sure what the word is, but there's something here as well. And again, I'll do my research. When I do these readings, I go back and I do the research and see what I can find out. I'm just getting information coming through to me. There is something that crawls along the floor. It's like a beetle, some kind of legs. I'm not sure what that is, whether that's attached to the land or what. The Blue Mountains is the... I'll look up the tribe that inhabited this region. It's a very mystical place. You'll see with the photos that I'll put into this video how densely isolated these mountains actually are. They're not urbanized. This is a fairly rugged landscape here. All right, the woman. Let's go back to the elderly woman. Okay. There's a number again. Did they have gambling here? Because that's what I'm seeing, like the bottomless glass and gambling. All right, let's pull some cards and see. There's definitely somebody has been floating around here. A few spirits, actually. There's multiple orbs passing through the screen. And we'll do a tarot reading and see what else we can pick up. Okay, I'm just going to pull some cards. I've just got the Radiant Rider Waite. I'm so glad I turned off that REM pod. That was just freaking me out. And I was worried that one of the hotel staff would come and say, is there a fire alarm going off? Okay. All right, let's have a look. Let's drill down, please, and see either the elderly woman, the younger man, somebody who had problems with gambling and drinking. I think that's the one that people have the most problems with in this hotel. Now, I want to speak to either the younger man or the elderly woman. Is there any messages that you have or you want to bring forward that can come through me and my interpretation of these cards, my clairvoyance? Any messages, please? Any messages? Okay, so someone's just over near the door. They are looking in. They've gone now, but it was like they opened the door, they looked in, and then they left. All right. What messages do you want to bring forward? Definitely servants I'm getting. We've got the Ten of Pentacles, and that's money. And that would fit with the I guess history of this place. You know, obviously it's pretty opulent. And then we get the endings and beginnings. Okay, so I think what's happening here is that you heard the Hydro Majestic fell into disrepair. It's had a long history of being sort of idle, of being forgotten. So it had this wonderful heyday, and then that ended. And we get the past coming through here. And so, you know, I said earlier on today, if walls could talk, the families, sisters, nieces, aunties and nieces, elderly women travelling with their younger nieces, families with young children would come here as a retreat, for a holiday, for this glamorous trip away. The past is here, so we get families, we get money, we get an end to the opulence, I think, and then we get the past is the foundation of this reading. I have a young person here, Page of Wands. This could be the younger man that I was seeing, perhaps a workman, and we get the Three of Pentacles. So the Three of Pentacles can be three people. I might have three people in spirit, but this could also be the renovation of the Hydro Majestic. And so a massive renovation, I think, was done, 5 years ago. I'm not sure. It wasn't so very long ago, and it was completely renovated. But it still has that feeling of underuse, of a bygone era. Even though it's been tastefully renovated, there's still this idea that this is almost like a relic of the past. And we get the Page of Pentacles. It's something that has seen its heyday. So what is there left to preserve? What is there left to preserve here? Is it history? Is it a bygone era? I don't know. We get the Moon card. The Moon card, of course, is can be things underneath the surface wanting to come up to the surface. Can be lunacy even. And there we have the bottomless pit. That's what I was seeing. It was like a red. We've got the Devil card. Maybe at times of full moons, something to do with moons, perhaps the activity here. Thankfully, it's not a full moon at this moment. I think there's a new moon in Virgo coming, but there's something around a volatility, and we get this devilish energy. Now, the Devil card is not the devil itself, but it is addictions, and I did get a fairly strong pull to somebody that may have had drug and alcohol and gambling problems. And that's the ghost that we don't really want to talk to. Now we've got families, and I think if we're going to remember the Hydro Majestic, and I don't know what the future of this place is, but if we're going to remember it, we should remember that it probably entertained a multitude of families over the years, many generations of guests, and there's a crossroads. There's a crossroads for it, and I don't know, I shouldn't say this is a tarot reading for entertainment purposes only. I don't know who the new owners are. I don't know how they're doing with the business, but it seems like for the Hydro Majestic itself, there's a crossroads, and there could even be some planning and strategizing about how to move forward, because that's the kind of feeling I'm getting with this reading, to attract a higher paying guest. I'm actually getting also, I asked if there are any messages. I am getting an opulence here, and perhaps around women, and I'm also picking up that perhaps the younger man that likes to watch from atop. And I am getting perhaps somebody who had problems with addictions. So I don't know what this crossroads is. What is the crossroads? The Two of Swords card. What is the crossroads? Okay, the Sun. Beautiful. Okay, so that's happiness. And we get family reunions. Lovely. And then we get the Queen of Wands, motivation. And then we get justice. So we have here some pretty dark cards, but we also have some quite nice cards as well. And I think I'll choose to say that I've probably got the elderly woman coming through in this reading, And she does have a younger person that perhaps she travelled with. So I'm getting a reunion happening here. Okay, so oh yes, oh my goodness me. So this just, as I did that, this just flicked up. So there is a reunion. So what happens when the EMF energy increases, when somebody gets close to it, we get the lights start to progress, and it actually flicked up to orange. As I just said, we've got a reunion taking place between perhaps the elderly. So do we have the elderly woman and perhaps a younger relative here at this time, or were you reunited after a period of time? Have you been reunited? Let's see, do we have the elderly lady here? And we get the King of Swords, the Knight of Swords. So there's a lot of truth here in some way, and the Knight of Pentacles. Consistency. Somebody who is struggling. Somebody perhaps who maybe was estranged in a way, feeling like they have to defend themselves. Okay, any last messages, please? Any last messages? Okay, somebody who is ill, was ill, passed over perhaps. That's the illness and sickness card, and then we have the passed over card. We definitely have somebody who has passed over, and we've got high sort of a worry and anxiety here, and then we get perhaps a mother. We could have this elderly woman may be reaching out, trying to speak to her relatives who would have since passed over, given the time frame that I'm getting would have been the 1900s. All right, let's see. Any last messages? Any last messages? Anything else that we want to bring forward? Okay, so any last messages? Anything else that needs to come forward to finish up with this reading? The elderly woman may not be reunited. That could be the message of the cards, that she may not be reunited with her loved ones. And I just want to say that when we do pass over, there is a light that appears. That light can come at any time when we need it, when we're ready for it. And when you see that light, some people don't go toward it because they are frightened of it. But that light is where your passed over relatives, that's where God is, that's where spirit is, that's where the afterlife is. Some people call it heaven. But it's consistent with near-death experiences that there is always a light that appears when you pass over. And so it could be that this has something to do, given I'm speaking about this could have something to do with this elderly woman. But I will look this up now and see if I can find out any information on any of the subjects I've broached tonight. And I'll put any links underneath the video. I'm pretty sure I don't want to contact the person with the gambling addictive personality. That devil card turned up there for a reason, so we'll just send that person away. And we hope that any of the other spirits here have found the light and have gone to their true home. All right, thank you for tuning in. Bye for now. And so ends our trip to the Hydro Majestic in the Blue Mountains. I later found out there was indeed a resident ghost who swings from the chandelier in the foyer. Another ghost of a young lady who used to work at the Hydro who was murdered on the way home from work. As for the old lady, I never found out. I could never track who that was, nor the evil gambler. But one thing's for sure, the Hydro Majestic is absolutely full of ghostly presence. Thank you for joining me.
Bye for now.